Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Assign a rank or rating to. The restaurant is rated highly in the food guide. The relative speed of progress or change. He works at a great rate. Amount of a charge or payment relative to some basis. A 10-minute phone call at that rate would cost $5. Estimate the value of. How would you rate his chances to become president? A magnitude or frequency relative to a time unit. They traveled at a rate of 55 miles per hour. A quantity or amount or measure considered as a proportion of another quantity or amount or measure. The literacy rate. Be worthy of or have a certain rating. This bond rates highly. Assign a rank or rating to. Assign a grade or rank to, according to one's evaluation. Grade tests. The height of the ground on which something stands. The base of the tower was below grade. A number or letter indicating quality, especially of a student's performance. Grade a milk. A degree of ablaut. A body of students who are taught together. 1/100th of a right angle. A relative position or degree of value in a graded group. Lumber of the highest grade. A position on a scale of intensity or amount or quality. A moderate grade of intelligence. A variety of cattle produced by crossbreeding with a superior breed. Determine the grade of or assign a grade to. Level to the right gradient. The gradient of a slope or road or other surface. The road had a steep grade. Usually plural, the status or rank or office of a Christian clergyman in an ecclesiastical hierarchy. Assign a rank or rating to. A commercial document used to request someone to supply something in return for payment and providing specifications and quantities. IBM received an order for 100 computers. A group of person living under a religious rule. The Order of Saint Benedict. Give instructions to or direct somebody to do something with authority. She ordered him to do the shopping. Appoint to a clerical posts. Issue commands or orders for. A degree in a continuum of size or quantity. It was on the order of a mile. A condition of regular or proper arrangement. He put his desk in order. A body of rules followed by an assembly. A legally binding command or decision entered on the court record, as if issued by a court or judge. A friend in New Mexico said that the order caused no trouble out there. Arrange thoughts, ideas, temporal events. The act of putting things in a sequential arrangement. There were mistakes in the ordering of items on the list. A formal association of people with similar interests. Men from the fraternal order will staff the soup kitchen today. Logical or comprehensible arrangement of separate elements. We shall consider these questions in the inverse order of their presentation. Bring into conformity with rules or principles or usage. Impose regulations. Architecture. One of original three styles of Greek architecture distinguished by the type of column and entablature used or a style developed from the original three by the Romans. A request for something to be made, supplied, or served. I gave the waiter my order. Biology, taxonomic group containing one or more families. Bring order to or into. Established customary state, especially of society. Order ruled in the streets. Make a request for something. Order a work stoppage. Often plural, a command given by a superior, e.g., a military or law enforcement officer, that must be obeyed. The British ships dropped anchor and waited for orders from London. Place in a certain order. Order the photos chronologically. A job in an organization. Assign a location to. A point located with respect to surface features of some region. This is a nice place for a picnic. Assign a rank or rating to. The particular portion of space occupied by something. He put the lamp back in its place. A particular situation. If you were in my place, what would you do? Assigned to a station. A space reserved for sitting, as in a theater or on a train or airplane. He sat in someone else's place. Recognize as being. Establish the identity of someone or something. Where you live at a particular time. Your place or mine. Identify the location or place of. Locate. Take a place in a competition, often followed by an ordinal. Put into a certain place or abstract location. A public square with room for pedestrians. Make an investment. Proper or designated social situation. He overstepped his place. A blank area. Any area set aside for a particular purpose. Who owns this place? Estimate. An item on a list or in a sequence. In the second place. Intend, something, to move towards a certain goal. The post or function properly or customarily occupied or served by another. Took his place. A general vicinity. He comes from a place near Chicago. An abstract mental location. He has a special place in my thoughts. Assigned to, a job or a home. Finish second or better in a horse or dog race. He bet $2 on number 6 to place. Place somebody in a particular situation or location. He was placed on probation. Proper or appropriate position or location. A woman's place is no longer in the kitchen. Sing a note with the correct pitch. The passage that is being read. He lost his place on the page. To arrange for. Place a phone call. Assign a rank or rating to. Range or extend over. Occupy a certain area. The limit of capability. The limits within which something can be effective. Range of motion. An area in which something acts or operates or has power or control. The range of a supersonic jet. A series of hills or mountains. The valley was between two ranges of hills. Feed as in a meadow or pasture. Move about aimlessly or without any destination, often in search of food or employment. change or be different within limits. Estimates for the losses in the earthquake range as high as $2 billion. Mathematics. The set of values of the dependent variable for which a function is defined. A kitchen appliance used for cooking food. Lay out orderly or logically in a line or as if in a line. A large tract of grassy open land on which livestock can graze. They used to drive the cattle across the open range every spring. A place for shooting, firing or driving projectiles of various kinds. The Army maintains a missile range in the desert. A variety of different things or activities. He answered a range of questions. Have a range. Be capable of projecting over a certain distance, as of a gun. This gun ranges over 2 miles. Let eat. Range the animals in the prairie. Assign a rank or rating to. How would you rank these students? The ordinary members of an organization, such as the enlisted soldiers of an army. The strike was supported by the Union rank and file. Conspicuously and outrageously bad or reprehensible. Rank treachery. Position in a social hierarchy. Take precedence or surpass others in rank. Complete and without restriction or qualification, sometimes used informally as intensifiers. A rank outsider. The body of members of an organization or group. They found dissension in their own ranks. A row or line of people, especially soldiers or police, standing abreast of one another. The entrance was guarded by ranks of policemen. Growing profusely. Rank jungle vegetation. Relative status. His salary was determined by his rank and seniority. Take or have a position relative to others. This painting ranks among the best in the Western world. Very fertile, producing profuse growth. Rank earth. Very offensive in smell or taste. A rank cigar. A unit of length equal to 3 feet, defined as 91.44 centimeters, originally taken to be the average length of a stride. The relative speed of progress or change. He lived at a fast pace. Measure distances by pacing. The rate of moving, especially walking or running. The rate of some repeating event. A step in walking or running. The distance covered by a step. He stepped off 10 paces from the old tree and began to dig. Go at a pace. The horse paced. Regulate or set the pace of. Walk with slow or fast paces. He paced up and down the hall. Amount of a charge or payment relative to some basis. Regard highly. Think much of. Music. The relative duration of a musical note. Hold dear. Estimate the value of. The amount, of money or goods or services, that is considered to be a fair equivalent for something else. He tried to estimate the value of the produce at normal prices. Evaluate or estimate the nature, quality, ability, extent, or significance of. An ideal accepted by some individual or group. He has old-fashioned values. A numerical quantity measured or assigned or computed. The value assigned was 16 milliseconds. Fix or determine the value of. Assign a value to. Value the jewelry and artwork in the estate. Relative darkness or lightness of a color. I establish the colors and principal values by organizing the painting into 3 values: dark, medium and light. The quality, positive or negative, that renders something desirable or valuable. The Shakespearean Shylock is of dubious value in the modern world. Judge tentatively or form an estimate of quantities or time. Pronounce judgment on. Form a critical opinion of. I cannot judge some works of modern art. An authority who is able to estimate worth or quality. Put on trial or hear a case and sit as the judge at the trial of. The judge tried both father and son in separate trials. A public official authorized to decide questions brought before a court of justice. Determine the result of a competition. Form a critical opinion of. We shouldn't pass judgment on other people. Form a critical opinion of. How do you evaluate this grant proposal? Evaluate or estimate the nature, quality, ability, extent, or significance of. A property relating to time. Criminal law. A pleading describing some wrong or offense. He was arrested on a charge of larceny. Move quickly and violently. A quantity of explosive to be set off at one time. This cartridge has a powder charge of 50 grains. The quantity of unbalanced electricity in a body, either positive or negative, and construed as an excess or deficiency of electrons. The battery needed a fresh charge. Cause to be agitated, excited, or roused. The speaker charged up the crowd with his inflammatory remarks. Psychoanalysis. The libidinal energy invested in some idea or person or object. Freud thought of cathexis as a psychic analog of an electrical charge. Demand payment. Will I get charged for this service? Direct into a position for use. He charged his weapon at me. Blame for. Make a claim of wrongdoing or misbehavior against. He charged the director with indifference. Request for payment of a debt. They submitted their charges at the end of each month. Cause to be admitted. Of persons to an institution. File a formal charge against. The suspect was charged with murdering his wife. To make a rush at or sudden attack upon, as in battle. Give over to another for care or safekeeping. Provide, a device, with something necessary. Attention and management implying responsibility for safety. A special assignment that is given to a person or group. His charge was deliver a message. Heraldry consisting of a design or image depicted on a shield. A formal statement of a command or injunction to do something. The judge's charge to the jury. Attribute responsibility to. The tragedy was charged to her inexperience. An assertion that someone is guilty of a fault or offense. The newspaper published charges that Jones was guilty of drunken driving. The swift release of a store of effective force. Impose a task upon, assign a responsibility to. He charged her with cleaning up all the files over the weekend. Assign a duty, responsibility or obligation to. She was charged with supervising the creation of a concordance. An impetuous rush toward someone or something. The wrestler's charge carried him past his adversary. A person committed to your care. The teacher led her charges across the street. Cause formation of a net electrical charge in or on. Charge a conductor. Energize a battery by passing a current through it in the direction opposite to discharge. I need to charge my car battery. Enter a certain amount as a charge. He charged me $15. Fill or load to capacity. Charge the wagon with hay. Financial liabilities, such as a tax. The charges against the estate. Instruct a jury about the law, its application, and the weighing of evidence. Instruct or command with authority. The teacher charged the children to memorize the poem. Lie down on command, of hunting dogs. Make an accusatory claim. The defense attorney charged that the jurors were biased. Pay with a credit card. Pay with plastic money. Postpone payment by recording a purchase as a debt. Will you pay cash or charge the purchase? Place a heraldic bearing on. Charge all weapons, shields, and banners. Saturate. The room was charged with tension and anxiety. Set or ask for a certain price. How much do you charge for lunch? The price charged for some article or service. The admission charge. Consider in a comprehensive way. He appraised the situation carefully before acting. Evaluate or estimate the nature, quality, ability, extent, or significance of. I will have the family jewels appraised by a professional. Set or determine the amount of a payment such as a fine. Evaluate or estimate the nature, quality, ability, extent, or significance of. Charge a person or a property with a payment, such as a tax or a fine. Estimate the value of property for taxation. Our house hasn't been assessed in years. A statute in draft before it becomes law. How much there is or how many there are of something that you can quantify. A basis for comparison. A reference point against which other things can be evaluated. They set the measure for all subsequent work. Any maneuver made as part of progress toward a goal. The situation called for strong measures. Determine the measurements of something or somebody, take measurements of. The act or process of assigning numbers to phenomena according to a rule. The measurements were carefully done. Express as a number or measure or quantity. Prosody. The accent in a metrical foot of verse. Measuring instrument having a sequence of marks at regular intervals. Used as a reference in making measurements. Musical notation for a repeating pattern of musical beats. Evaluate or estimate the nature, quality, ability, extent, or significance of. A container of some standard capacity that is used to obtain fixed amounts of a substance. Have certain dimensions. This table surfaces measures 20 inches by 36 inches. Evaluate or estimate the nature, quality, ability, extent, or significance of. A relation between magnitudes. A relation between magnitudes. Magnitude or extent. A building of vast proportions. The relation between things, or parts of things, with respect to their comparative quantity, magnitude, or degree. An inordinate proportion of the book is given over to quotations. Harmonious arrangement or relation of parts or elements within a whole, as in a design. Balance among the parts of something. Adjust in size relative to other things. Give pleasant proportions to. The quotient obtained when the magnitude of a part is divided by the magnitude of the whole. Be priced at. Represent, as of a character on stage. Form or compose. These constitute my entire belonging. Be identical or equivalent to. Have life, be alive. A light, strong, brittle, gray, toxic, bivalent metallic element. Have an existence, be extant. Work in a specific place, with a specific subject, or in a specific function. Have the quality of being. Copula, used with an adjective or a predicate noun. Occupy a certain position or area, be somewhere. What is behind this behavior? Spend or use time. I may be an hour. To remain unmolested, undisturbed, or uninterrupted, used only in infinitive form. Let her be. The thick white fluid containing spermatozoa that is ejaculated by the male genital tract. One of the outstanding players in a tournament. Anything that provides inspiration for later work. Place seeds in or on the ground for future growth. She sowed sunflower seeds. A mature fertilized plant ovule consisting of an embryo and its food source and having a protective coat or testa. A small hard fruit. Bear seeds. Distribute, players or teams, so that outstanding teams or players will not meet in the early rounds. Go to seed, shed seeds. The dandelions went to seed. Help, an enterprise, in its early stages of development by providing seed money. Inoculate with microorganisms. Remove the seeds from. Seed grapes. Sprinkle with silver iodide particles to disperse and cause rain. Seed clouds. Film consisting of a succession of related shots that develop a given subject in a movie. A following of one thing after another in time. The doctor saw a sequence of patients. The action of following in order. He played the trumps in sequence. Arrange in a sequence. Determine the order of constituents in. They sequenced the human genome. Serial arrangement in which things follow in logical order or a recurrent pattern. The sequence of names was alphabetical. Several repetitions of a melodic phrase in different keys. A list of applicants winnowed from a longer list who have been deemed suitable and from which the successful person will be chosen. Put someone or something on a short list. Of a clause, unable to stand alone syntactically as a complete sentence. A subordinate, or dependent, clause functions as a noun or adjective or adverb within a sentence. A word that is more specific than a given word. Make subordinate, dependent, or subservient. Our wishes have to be subordinated to that of our ruler. An assistant subject to the authority or control of another. Lower in rank or importance. Rank or order is less important or consider of less value. Art is sometimes subordinated to science in these schools. Subject or submissive to authority or the control of another. A subordinate kingdom. A word that is more generic than a given word. One of greater rank or station or quality. Of higher rank or status or value. Place in a superior order or rank. These two notions are superordinated to a third. Give a promotion to or assign to a higher position. An upward slope or grade, as in a road. The property possessed by a slope or surface that rises. A reservation that is improved. I got an upgrade to first class when coach class was full. Get better travel conditions. I upgraded to first class when coach class was overbooked. Give better travel conditions to. The airline upgraded me when I arrived late and coach class was full. Hardware that provides better performance than an earlier version did. Rate higher. Raise in value or esteem. Software that provides better performance than an earlier version did. The act of improving something, especially machinery, by raising it to a higher grade, as by adding or replacing components. The power plant received a new upgrade. To improve what was old or outdated. I've upgraded my computer so I can run better software. Assign a priority to. Assign a priority to. We have too many things to do and must prioritize. A repeated order for the same merchandise. He's the one who sends out all the new orders and reorders. Assign a new order to. Make a new request to be supplied with. The store had to reorder the popular CD several times.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.